Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for inviting me to participate in this hearing today. I'm Marilyn Strickland, representing the 10th Congressional District of Washington State, which is home to Puget Sound, the largest estuary by volume in the United States. And I particularly want to thank all the witnesses, including Dr. McIntyre and the combined Washington State University and University of Washington team for your work on this study. And of course, I want to thank Director Trout for his dedicated and consistent advocacy for the tribe, the Nisqually tribe. Now, recovering and restoring our unique Northwest ecosystem, including especially our salmon populations, has been a priority for mine. I was proud to co-lead the Puget SOS Act with Representative Kilmer, and we're able to pass it out of the House in June. And we also secured about $50 million in the draft of purpose bill for the Puget Sound Geographic Program. It is my hope that some of these resources will be used to address the issues uncovered by Dr. McIntyre and the team at the Washington Stormwater Center. We know that salmon are more than a key resource for the Pacific Northwest. They are cultural. They're part of our economy. It's part of our tribal treaty rights. And we know that this biodiversity that we have here is at risk. And the effect of the 6 PPD on coho is yet another hurdle, which we will have to overcome to ensure that many generations that come after us are able to enjoy the bounty that we have here. Okay, this is for Dr. McIntyre. Can you talk about the effect of the 6 PPD quinone? What will it have on the coho if we do nothing?
Yeah, so this chemical is toxic enough that we see, population extirpations, which are localized population extinctions, have occurred, in many streams already throughout the area. The reason we were able to study this issue in the first place was because actually because of strays from net pen operations out in Elliott Bay, returning to this newly restored habitat that had been created. And without those fish coming back and doing that, we maybe wouldn't have noticed that this had been taking place already for decades. So the risks of not doing anything is to have our populations continuing to decline, particularly in areas where we are expanding human development, right? The more we build roads and drive our cars on the highways, the more we're going to see this problem expanding into areas where it doesn't currently exist.
Great, thank you. And Director Trout, could you tell us what it will mean for the Nisqually tribe of Indians if the population of salmon continues to deteriorate?
Congresswoman Strickland, it's great to see you, and thank you for the question. It's already having a devastating impact to our community. When I started with the Nisqually Indian tribe in 1987, we were fishing 105 days throughout the year sustainably. That meant my fishermen and our community were engaged with the Nisqually River and fished for abundant salmon populations. So 105 days in 1987. In 2015, we fished 8 days. The trend is not supporting tribal treaty rights. The trend is not supporting the condition or the continuation of our traditions and cultures. And if the coho populations continue to decline, I'm afraid 8 days will go to 5 days, down to 2 days, down to no days. And that will have a devastating impact on our community, disconnecting them from the place where they've been for 10,000 years. And it's so important that they have time on the Nisqually River doing what they've always done. And they see that promise is not being honored. And there needs to be a sense of urgency here. And I understand that this is a complex issue, but we now know that this is a significant problem. And we should be able to take advantage of the opportunity to come together to solve this problem. And I think we need to be investing in looking at alternative ozone preservatives while we're implementing some in-stream stormwater retention and filtration systems so that we can then move towards removing this from the source. If we don't, the tribe's treaty rights simply will not be honored.
Well, great. Thank you for that. And you answered my next question. So, Madam Chair, I yield back my time.
Very much, Ms. Strickland.